Okay, first of all, I used to believe that at one point. I used to believe I was a Hebrew Israelite. I actually wanted to be a part of that organization and your organization and everything of that sort. But when I started looking at the Bible for myself and not going to my pastor, because I haven't went to church in a while, I didn't go to my mom or anything of that sort. Pops, he don't really read it like that. Anybody else, I just simply did the studying on my own. And when I did the studying on my own, I've come to the conclusion that the Hebrew Israelites don't teach what the Bible says. Now, I haven't read the whole Bible, but I've read a good majority of it to know that you guys do not teach what the patriarchs taught. You don't teach what the prophets taught. You don't teach what Jesus taught. You don't teach what his disciples taught. And you don't teach what the reformers taught. Because I believe people like Martin Luther, people like John Calvin, who else is out there? John Huss, Zwingli, many other different reformers out there I can name. Those men died for the faith, burned at the stake. Let me show you real quick. So it says, because of his refusal to recant, John Huss was declared a heretic and was burned at the stake on July 6, 1415. The council and the emperor had underestimated Huss' support in Bohemia and Moravia. However, and his followers arose in open rebellion. Now, by the way, John Huss was killed by the Roman Catholic Church. Here's a picture, a depiction of how John Huss would have been killed. Died for the faith, for simply believing outside of what the Catholic Church taught. Now, that's the same thing that black people went through. When they got off the boat, it was pushed on Catholicism. Not Christianity, not true Christianity, but they was pushed to Catholicism. And they were taught by the priest. But you guys are either ignorant of the history or you just don't teach it. So it's a problem regardless of the situation. Because like I said, you need to know all of history in order to, really understand why you believe the way you believe. And you really need to understand what the Bible says to really know why you believe the way you believe. Because like I said, the history goes with the Bible and the Bible goes with history. And you guys, religion doesn't back history, nor does it back the Bible. And I'm not trying to be cocky, but my belief backs the Bible and it backs history, because I can show documentation, biblical sources, whatever situation may be. You guys can't. But like I said, look at this. This is how John Huss would have been. This is a white European man, by the way, as you can see, dying for the faith around the same time. Because remember, during the 1400s and 1500s, that's when Atlantic slave trade happened. This is the same time. Also, you got Europeans dying for the faith as well. But you're going to say that these men can't go to heaven? I got a problem with that. Man. So that's not me denying my heritage. It's me denying that evil, wicked doctrine of you guys. It sucks. Like I got a Freemason dude I be talking to. We be having some decent conversations and everything. We be laughing and everything of that sort. But me having little disagreements about Freemasonry and everything, because I believe a certain way about Freemasonry. I obviously, being a Freemason, obviously wouldn't agree with what I have to say about it and everything of that sort. But I have a stronger distaste in my mouth for the doctrine of the Hebrew Israelite than I do the doctrine of Freemasonry. Reason being is because with Freemasonry, their problem is they raise man to deity, but then also they say you can work your way to heaven. And regardless of what a Mason says, that's the case. But then also, not even just that. You guys, on the other hand, you totally say that if you're not black, Latino, Mexican, Cuban, Puerto Rican, whatever the situation may be, down the line of being brown or black or purple, you can't go to heaven. You can't go to heaven. And that's a problem, bro. That's why I have a bigger problem with that than I do that. I mean, I'm going to debunk both doctrines, but I really got to tackle you guys. I really got to get on you guys because this is unacceptable to the highest order. Now, this is also talking about a different guy right here. And this is talking about William Tyndale. And it says he was strangled, hunted on the continent, betrayed by an Englishman for pay, and condemned to die a heretic. Tyndale was tied to a stake, strangled with a rope, and torched outside a castle near Brussels on October 6, 1536. Like I said, around the same time you got black people on slave ships going to America. And the same people that is doing it to these people up here is doing it to the people that's on them slave ships. And these people talking about we have a different doctrine that doesn't follow what the Catholic Church say. And I want to follow this right here because this is truth. Because remember, the Catholic Church was selling indulgences and everything and stuff like that during Europe and everything of that sort. And that's when Martin Luther was like, the Bible really I don't think it says that. And he went on his own little mission and he found out the Bible don't teach indulgence. And by the way, if you don't know what indulgence is basically you can buy your lovings out of hell. And he found out the Bible don't teach that. And he said, I want to believe that. I want to go off of what this say. And then that's when him and the Catholic Church butted heads. And you had other people going at the Catholic Church as well. And it was just a whole bunch of stuff going on, which led to the Reformation, the Renaissance, and other different stuff going on during that time frame. But the point I'm getting at, people, here is this man was strangled and killed for the faith during the same time you got black people going on the slave ships. Now, you're going to say that this man is less qualified to go to heaven because of his skin color, but he took the ultimate death. He was tied to a stake and strangled and torched. Come on now, people. Everybody was suffering during that time. It wasn't not one person that didn't get the wrath of the Roman Catholic Church during that time. They was in control of the whole world. The Bible said that. Read Revelation chapter 13, the whole thing. Talks about that beast that come out the sea. That's the Catholic Church for you. This is a depiction of how William Tyndale would have been. Soak that in, man. Soak that in. Soak it in. Everybody. Because that's the case. That's what people went through. Whether white, brown, black, purple, blue, whatever the case may be. That's what everybody went through. Persecution. Torture. The Inquisitions. Study the Inquisition. Study it, please. The Franciscan order, the Dominican order, the Jesuit order, all these different orders of the Catholic Church. These monks. I mean, come on, man.